Hi everybody, so we are going to discuss about this new plugin which we have just launched. It is called MemberMouse Advanced Decision Shortcodes. It is a plugin which we have developed after one of our customers needed such a solution, which I will present in a few minutes. This is actually a short code for MemberMouse based on two already built-in MemberMouse smart tags like this one and this one here, and these are really pretty useful smart tags which MemberMouse already built for us. But this plugin which we have developed, it is actually sort of a hybrid between the two plugins. For example, this one, access decision smart tag, has this access attribute which can have three values. But for example, this one, member decision smart tag, has different attributes like membership ID or days as member and everything else. But you cannot have an access attribute like, for example, this plugin has. So this new shortcode which we have developed for MemberMouse, it includes all these attributes, and it is giving you a lot more flexibility and a lot of control for your content. So this plugin which we have developed has two sections or two main approaches, if you like. First one, it is based on the membership ID, and the second one, it is based on bundle ID. For the case of the membership, you can have multiple membership IDs added, but for the case of the bundle, you can only have one bundle ID, and I'll explain it shortly. So you can have a few attributes, like for example, in the case of the membership based shortcodes, you can have the membership ID, which is the membership under which a user is has subscribed, and it can have multiple IDs separated by this pipe, as you can see here. Then we can have the access attribute, which we have already mentioned, and this one can have three values, can have true value, false value, or future value. True value is when the current member has access to the page post, then that short code will be displayed, the content of the short code is displayed. If the user does not have access to that post or page, then the short code content will be displayed also when the access is false. And for the future option, the user does not have access yet, but will have in the future. And in this case, the user will see the date when he will have access to see the content of that shortcode. Then we can have an optional date attribute. If the user subscribed to the website before this date, then the shortcode content, it is displayed, and this is an attribute which gives us more flexibility, because actually we don't have this attribute here on these two already built-in MemberMouse shortcodes. We can only have these attributes which you can see here. So this is something new which you'll see in our shortcode. And then we have the days attribute, which is also optional. And if the number of days since the user joined the website is greater or equal to this value, then the shortcode content will be displayed. One important thing here is that in the case of the membership ID, the the number of days since the user subscribed is actually the one taken into consideration, and not we cannot have this value for when a certain membership was assigned to the user. So it is just the when the user has first subscribed to the website. In the case of the bundle, then we can have the exact date when a certain bundle was assigned to a user. So in the article which we have written on our blog, you can see a lot of examples, and you can see exactly how this all these shortcodes are working, and I hope you will find all this useful. I'm also going to show you a real-life example just to have a better idea of how this is working. You can find a lot of possibilities in which you can use all these shortcodes, like for example when you have a certain link to a video or a document or something else, and you just want the user to meet certain conditions, like for example this date here or these days, then you can use all this and have a lot more control over your content. As you can see it, I'm logged in as a user in another browser, and I have this test shortcode page ready, and I've already added a certain shortcode here on this page, and I will update it. As you can see, this is referring to membership ID 1, number of days is 10, and date is 1st of December 2019. Today is 29th of December 2019. User subscribed on website on 11th of December, so the number of days since the user subscribed is 18. Since the user subscribed on 11th of December and now it's 29th of December, there are 18 days, as I said, so 18 days is greater than the number of days. So normally the content of this shortcode, which is actually this one, but here of course you can have any content you like for example you have some sort of information, or you can have a link to a video, to a document, to one of your tutorials, lessons, and or everything else. So as I said, I'm logged in under this user with these conditions here. So if I refresh the browser, as you can see, we can the content of that shortcode is visible because of this second condition. When the number of days since the user subscribed to the website is greater or equal to 10, hours is 18, so this is the condition which is met. So therefore we can see the content of this shortcode. I have a few other shortcodes ready, like for example this one, because I want to test also the false option for the access attribute, and I will paste it here on the page and then save the page and see what happens. Okay, so the page is updating now. Let's refresh it. Okay, so this is actually visible because the access is set to false, as you can see it here, and we can see it because the user has membership ID of 1 and subscribed to the website after 1st of July 2019, because as you can see we have this date here. So if the user user subscribed after this date, then we have access false, of course, and then therefore we can see this the content of this short code here. This is actually the use of this false access. I'm going also to test the future access because this is also a very interesting one, and I will copy paste here and then update the page. Okay, it's updated. I will just refresh the page. So the thing is that for this future access we have the number of days 25, but right now we only have 18 days since the user subscribed to the website. And this is actually very important because this condition is met because the user has the membership ID of 1, but this one doesn't matter because user subscribed after that, so we are not interested in that. But we have this attribute set to future, so this means that user will have access to this piece of content in like 7 days from now on. So it's 25 minus 18. So at that moment, and this is where it becomes an interesting thing, you can have this shortcodes edit on page. So for example, on the same page you can have another shortcode with access set to true, and when this condition is met and user has 25 days since he subscribed, the content of this one, it is not shown, and then it is shown the content of the access set to true. If you, of course, you will add like for example 25 days or something. So this is interesting because you can use on the same page all three access options like future, true or false, and they are shown depending on the conditions which are met or not. So this is actually how this plugin is working. Regarding the bundle based ones, they work exactly the same as the membership ID ones, but instead of having multiple bundle IDs, you can only have one, because as I said before, in the case of the bundles we can determine exactly the date when a certain bundle was assigned to a user, and if we have more than one bundle, then it is everything becoming not clear because we don't know which one to take into consideration. So therefore we can only have just one bundle ID. Okay, so you can also check more on this article because we have a lot of more examples here and a lot of information for you. If anything else is not clear, just leave a comment or let us know and we'll try to answer as soon as possible. Okay, thank you for watching, and I hope you will find this plugin really useful for you.